Welcome to the second lesson of class 10th First Flight. That is the poem 2nd, Fire and Ice, written by Robert Lee Frost. Firstly, about the poet. Robert Lee Frost was an American poet. He was born on 26th March 1874 in San Francisco, California, United States, and died on 29th January 1963, Boston, Massachusetts, United States. He was awarded with Pulitzer Prize for Poetry and titled with United States Poet Laureates, and his notable works were The Road Not Taken, The Death of the Hired Man, After Apple Picking, and many more. Here is the poem. Poem goes like that. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say for destruction, ice is also great and would suffice. Here you see the first stanza. Poet compares the opinions of the people, says that some people say that world will end in fire, and some say that it is in ice. And what poet says, he says that I have tasted of desire and I hold with those who favor fire. He says that, poet says that I think that fire is like a desire, and fire, people say that fire will finish the world. So he says that yes, desire will finish the world. It means fire has been compared with the people's desire. He says that as people's desire is growing very fast, rapidly it is growing for each and everything, people are running behind the material life, and for achieving that desire they are ready to do anything in the world. They are even forgetting their values, their importance of family members, family values, each and everything they are forgetting. And for that, if the same speed is there for desire, then one day will come that there would be no humanity and people will kill each other, and that will be the cause of finishing of the world. And here he says that, but if it had to perish means finish, if it had to perish twice, means again it has to finish, I think I know enough of hate. He says that hate is also the same way, that people hate each other so much that hate can be also the cause of finishing of the world. Says that, but if it had to perish twice, if it had to finish, it had to end twice, then I think hate is also enough which can cause the world finish. You can see that the world is hating each other, and for that, in hate of each others, they are ready to kill with the missiles, bombs, and different kinds of weapons. And you can see that now bio war has also started. The virus, that is also a kind of fight, a kind of hatred. So here the poet says that the world will finish in hatred. It will finish in hatred. To say that for destruction, ice is also great. It means like fire is enough to finish the world, same way ice is also enough to finish the world. Now here fire stands for desire. Fire stands for desire, and ice stands for hatred, coldness. Ice stands for hatred and coldness, and fire stands for desire. It means the people's desire can finish the world in the same way that coldness means hatred of each other also can finish the world. And I don't need to give the live example, you are just witnessing all the things, that how the whole world within 6 months has covered in a kind of bio war. So that's very true. Poet is saying very true that hatred can also finish the world. See here the summary, same thing what I explained. This is a symbolic poem. Symbolic poem means something is symbolizing by the words and by the ideas. In this poem, Robert Frost refers two predictions. He says about two things, two opinions of the people, that world will end. How it will end? Some say that it will end in fire, and others say that it will end in ice. The poet compares desire with fire and hatred with ice. First, fire stands for desire, greed, avarice, lust, while ice stands for hatred, coldness, conflict. Both are growing with such a rapid speed that they can alone are sufficient for finishing the world. The poet thinks that we should stop our growing desire and love our fellow beings, love humanity, love our family members, love people, love creatures on the world. According to the poet, hatred and desire will destroy the world. Some people say that world will come to end in fire, while others say that it will come to end in ice. That was the summary of this poem. Now let's go ahead with the sum. That this is the mind map to understand. You remember two three points, that fire stands for desire here, and greed, avarice, lust, and because of that one becomes very selfish and indifferent, means no sympathy. So such people can cause the world to finish. Ice stand for hatred, coldness, conflict, and because of that one person becomes rigid in attitude, and it leads to intolerance. It becomes a person becomes very much furious, angry, frustrated, and in that he does any kind of crime. Now if we talk about here, so predictions of the people were that world will finish in ice or fire. Fire stands for desire and ice stands for hatred. Here consequences of, you know that already we have discussed that what is the consequences of this whole world growing desire and because of hatred. Theme: growing evils in the society will soon engulf our earth. But very true, and it is engulfing, rather, that society is converting, it is changing its form. Things are missing in our families, things are missing in our society, in colony, in whole world, things are missing, and people are forgetting their humanity. Okay, next one, you see that here there are poetic devices which have been used here. Assonance. Assonance is the repetition of vowel sounds in the same line. Repetition of vowel sounds. So hold, those, who, favor. So O sound is repeated here again and again. That's why here assonance. And alliteration means repetition of consonant sound. If consonant sound is repeated, then we say alliteration, and if vowel sound is repeated, then we say assonance. So here you can see that F 2 times it is coming. So that's why here there is alliteration. Anaphora is the word repetition of words or expressions in the first part of some words. Words means poems, lines. In poems lines, if some words are repeated, then we say anaphora. So some say it is coming in 2 lines. Symbolism: use of symbols to signify ideas and qualities by giving them some symbolic meaning different from their actual meaning. So that is known as symbolism. Like here fire meaning is something else, that burning things, but here it has been compared with a desire, so it is symbolizing the desire. In the same way ice is symbolizing hatred. Personification, you know very well that the giving human qualities to object. So here fire and ice are capable of destruction. So here capable, they have been told that they have power. So power, it has been given quality to here fire and ice. Next one, these are the 10 questions which you have to do. What does fire and ice stand for? Very clear it is there. What is the underlying idea of the poem Fire and Ice? You have to give the central point. What do you think would be the enough to destroy the world? And what do people think of the world? What is the poet's opinion about the world? What is the prediction of the people about how the world will come to an end? And do you think the world will end someday? It is your open end question. You have to give your own opinion. What makes people selfish? That is also your own opinion. You have to write. What leads people to become insensitive? That is also your personal answers. It can differ. Can you give some examples of present scenario? That is also your own experience. You have to give in your own words that what you feel and see. These are the extracts which you have to do. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. Who is the speaker? who are referred as some, what idea is symbolized by fire, and what does the poet mean by ice. The next extract you see here, but if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction ice is also great and would suffice. So what is referred to as it, what has the speaker seen enough of, and in what context does the speaker use the word ice, what is the tone at the end of the poem. And I think this is the last one, but before one thing here I would like to tell you that one thing was missing here in this poem. We could not talk about the poem rhyming scheme. So let me go quickly here, the first slide. Sorry, it is taking time. Yeah, here you see that fire rhyming scheme A, if we say here fire A, desire A, fire A, so A, but here third line is B, so rhyming scheme is A B A A. Here if we talk about twice ice ice, so here you can see that A A A, but here hate great, so B B, so your rhyming scheme is A B A B A. This way, that is the rhyming scheme. You might have understood that we see the sound of last word of the stanza line, and accordingly we make the here rhyming scheme. Once again I am telling you, here you see that fire desire fire, that is same sound, so it can be A, and ice it is B, so A B A A. Here twice ice suffice, this is sufficient, but for making the rhyming scheme, that is the poetic license where they can use the free, so A A, but here in the middle hate great, so that is B B, so A B A B, and last one A, that is the 5 line. So I hope you might have understood this poem. If you have understood, so you write the answer quickly and very nicely. These words also you have to learn, the difficult words you have to learn, it will help you to write in exam. Thank you, have a nice day.